Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys a reading for the Divine Feminine. So obviously you guys can see that the title is Girl, You're a Queen, and we're going to be tapping into the energy of the Fool in Tarot. So what's prompting this reading is this amazing book that I actually just recently received. It is called, let me just go ahead and move this, Girl, You're a Queen, and it's from Natalie Sophia, okay? So she's a gal that I actually follow on Instagram, and so when she wrote this book, she went ahead and asked me if she could send it to me, and it just really sounded like something that resonated with my particular journey and just everything that I've experienced lately. So I was like, yes, send it. So very cool, because what this is it's a journey through the tarot. And through tarot, she's basically broke it down with all of the things that you're experiencing on your journey and different questions to ask yourself. So this is something where you can use this for, time and time again. I'm literally just using this book right now with the Fool's energy. So she's really gone into depth with her thoughts about things. Very cool. But what we're doing today, as you guys can see here, your reflection points, that's what we're going to be tapping into. So I'm using 2 of her reflection points, and the other 2 I've created myself, based on the information here. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this is an incredible book. And if you guys want to receive your own copy, you can actually get it off of Amazon. So I will put Amazon. So I will put the link down below. Okay, you guys. So this particular organite is created by Michelle from Wing and Bell. It is the Divine Feminine Rising. And of course, this energy to me is very powerful because as Divine Feminines, we're trying to rise. So some of you guys might be, completely just doing fantastic on your journey, especially if you connect with the twin flame journey. Things are great in that department. So this reading may be for you or not for you. It just kind of depends. But how we're going to base this is off of the Fool's energy, is when maybe we have foolishly kind of given our power over to another person. It could technically be the Divine Masculine, or it could just be other things in your life. So that's what we're really tapping into. So without further ado, we're going to get started. Everything I'm using, I'll let you guys know what they are as I shuffle each deck, will be listed down below. First thing that we're going to ask is, when did you feel like a fool for something in your life that you loved, whether it was another person or just something that you were super passionate about? When have we felt like a fool, and what was that about? Okay. So let's take a look. We're going to go into, from 4 of Wands Tarot here, the Denied Shadow Oracle. When in our lives did we feel like a fool for love or for something that was important to us? Okay, interesting. We have Bride, self-centered, ego-driven, and we have Predator, beware of intentions. Okay, so immediately, you guys, this could go one of 2 ways, but I'm really basing this on the actions of the Divine Feminine. Sometimes us just, as people, there's something that we want, and so out of our own pride and for our own self-centered reasons, basically we go after things. Our intentions from the very start is because what we want. We want something. We want to experience something. We want to feel something. So what we do, we might go against our intuition. We might go against that gut that tells us, something maybe is off here, or maybe this just isn't really for you. But we do it anyways. Why would we do it? Because we're full of pride and ego, because we want it. So we go after it. Not everything that we want is meant for us. Not everything that feels good is actually good for us. So I feel that maybe some of us have been a fool in the past because we really felt passionate about something, but it doesn't mean that we paid attention to our intuition or even considered how someone else might feel about the situation. So this right here is the Soul Activation Oracle Shadows Edition by Rising Sun Oracle. Oh yeah, see, this is something, okay, I'm getting a couple things here. This is going to get a little deep, and it's either going to resonate with you or not. And if it doesn't, just disregard this reading. I don't really want to hear it in the comments, okay? So this is telling me here, this has something to do with, being intimate here, promiscuous. I feel like there's a couple of meanings for this card. Some of us basically ended up just basically doing things that, we just felt physically attracted, so we went off of those instincts. We felt so much passion, we just, went for it, right? Our intentions were to cause this person to fall in love with us. It didn't work. Okay. Our charm and our outer appearance and just everything that we had going on, it wasn't enough. So this is telling me here that when we're coming from this self-centered, ego-driven, and we have ulterior motives, so that we're coming through as the predator, this to me is telling me here that it didn't work. So when did you feel like a fool? You felt like a fool when you went for it. Maybe you slept with this person, or you did things that you didn't even really want to do, but you did it to please this person. I've done that before. And the whole time you're doing it, you're just thinking to yourself, why am I doing this? This isn't even me. This isn't even what I want. I'm not even enjoying this, but I'm doing this anyway. Okay? Maybe some of you guys have never done that. But it's a terrible thing, because afterwards you're just like, wow, I just sold my soul because I'm so insecure. I want to please this person that I'm willing to kind of put my own needs on hold. It's a terrible feeling. So this is telling us here that we may have felt like a fool afterwards because it didn't make a difference. It didn't make this person love you anymore. As a matter of fact, it could even have had the opposite effect. It made them disrespect you, or they were turned off. That's a horrible feeling too, and I know that one very well. Now, this may not be the behavior of the divine feminine. This could be that there was something where she was ignoring the red flags. Her intentions, she felt at the time, were pure. And so she entered into this connection or the situation and became intimate. And then something happened afterwards, and maybe it was someone else's own pride and ego, to where they were like, you know what? I can't have this. This is too much for me. This is too soon. And they basically have pushed you away, pushed you out, cut you off, ghosted you, whatever. So we have to understand here that we feel foolish because of something that we subjected ourselves to. Some of us willingly did it because we had certain intentions to begin with. Others may have had pure intentions, but you were dealing with someone who was so stuck in their ego that they're just not able to let you in. I don't really like to use those excuses. When someone is afraid, sure, they act like a jerk, but that's not an excuse. Let's not focus on that and say, well, he's just scared. He doesn't want to get hurt again, or he just can't let anyone in. At the end of the day, those are just excuses. So we feel foolish because something didn't work out the way that we had hoped. But we do have to take responsibility for our own actions and what went wrong. Sometimes it's good for you to feel like a fool, because when you feel like a fool, you're probably going to not do that thing again. You're going to learn from those mistakes. So it is good in a way to sometimes fall, because when we fall, we can pick ourselves back up and say, you know what? I don't like the way that felt. So I'm, more than likely not going to participate in that again. I'm not going to do that thing again. Okay. So let's not beat ourselves up over this experience. Let's learn from this experience. Okay. And if you happen to be in this reverse situation where you were dealing with someone who was a predator, they did not have your best intentions at heart. You kind of feel like you were scammed by this individual. We are being asked to sit back and ask ourselves, what was it about this person that made me feel safe? Okay. What was it about them that charmed the pants out of me to where I believed them? So we do have to kind of go deeply within ourselves and ask ourselves, what was off within us? Why is it that we didn't pick up on these red flags? Okay. There's a reason. So instead of berating ourselves and feeling like a fool, let's get down to the nitty gritty as to why we allowed this to happen in the first place. Okay. So let's go ahead and get some more information on all of that. What is the energy here? What is the energy? This is my divine feminine healing. Wow. Okay, I'm getting another message. So just so you guys know that the way that my readings work is when one message comes through, even though that was the story, now it shifts. So there's another storyline going on here. There could be someone, as in you, the divine feminine, or maybe the person that you're dealing with, that sleeps around with a lot of people, okay? Or this is something that we slept with someone too soon. And so this person brands us as easy. This person brands us as, you're just this physical partner. You're nothing else. I've had that done to me before. So I am speaking from personal experience. You feel a passionate connection with someone, you come together, your intentions are very much like, I want to build something here. But if you're dealing with someone who is in their ego, or maybe somebody who's a narcissistic prick, they're going to turn around and turn this energy around on you and shame you and make you feel like crap and then discard your ass. That's how narcissists work. They're horrible people. But there are a lot of people out there that do this crap. They invite you in, they partake in this, and then they project on you something within themselves that's ugly. And then they cause you and brand you with this name that you're this, you're that. It's a terrible thing. So the only reason I'm bringing that up is because that could have happened to some of you guys. Your person, after they invited you in and you guys had this experience, has now branded you as a person that is not worthy of them. It's a terrible, terrible thing to feel. So we end up feeling foolish. We end up feeling foolish as to why we did something. Did we do something too soon? Did we, how could I let this person in my energy field? How could I do this? Ooh, I feel disgusting. I hate myself now. So we're not branded is what this is saying. We're not branded because of what other people think of us. And just because we were a certain way at a certain time, which let's just face it, maybe we didn't have the tools or the self-esteem to be any different. We don't have to brand ourselves with this one experience for the rest of our lives and shame ourselves forever. So this says, what other people think about me, which includes yourself, is none of my business. I choose to let that go now. Don't allow your decisions from years ago brand you today. Don't rake yourself over the coals today. Learn from it, but love yourself anyways. Okay? Let it go. Let go of the need to judge yourself. Also, if you guys are caught up in somebody else's promiscuous behavior to where they do this with you, they do this with somebody else, and they're just kind of running around, just spreading everything all around town, remove yourself from the obsession of this person's behavior. Okay? I'm getting a message that there could be some divine feminines that are so obsessed with a person, or it could be their divine masculine, that they are stalking them on social media, and they are literally like predators, needing to kind of keep tabs on every person that your masculine is involved with. And that's not a good thing, because really where that's coming from is it's coming from ego. So it's foolish to continue to be in this energy, because it's not really doing anything positive for you, and it's not doing anything positive for, another person, because all we're doing is we're promoting this energy of being upset and shaming this person for their behavior, or judging this person's experiences as bad. I've seen that before. This person's a karmic to my divine masculine. Says who? Says you? Sometimes that could just be coming from ego, you guys. Sometimes we could just brand somebody else as a karmic partner. But what if that person is actually something else to this person? So just because you're saying they're a karmic partner doesn't mean they are. So that could be a harsh truth for someone, and I'm sure I'm going to get some shit in the comments for that one. But sometimes the way that we see things, sometimes our perception of things may not be accurate, may not be true. So let's pull away from this. Let's choose to let all that junk go now. Let's just choose to focus on ourselves, stay in our own lane. So if some of you guys feel obsessed where you need to kind of focus on what your masculine's doing or what someone else is doing, or rake yourself over the coals for your past experiences or behaviors, it really isn't serving anyone. It's keeping you stuck, actually. Okay? So we're going to go into my newest deck, which is called the Winds of Fortune deck, and get a card. Okay, so we have the Three of Hearts. So it's kind of like the Three of Cups energy. Social atmospheres, important celebrations, outside influence, and optimism and happiness. This is the thing, you guys. Not all experiences, because they didn't work out, mean that they were bad. Okay, and we do have the tendency as human beings to brand everything as bad just because it didn't work out, or to brand someone a narcissist because they didn't want us. So there's a message in here about this. It's very easy to brand everyone that you meet, just like people probably have judged you and branded you a certain way, whether it was true or not. It does no good to do that, to run around and say, this person's a narcissist, this person's this karmic partner, this person's my twin flame. I don't really care for any of those labels, because the thing is, that's kind of keeping us stuck. It's keeping us stuck in this like, this person has been branded this way, so now there's no room for any other narrative. This person will always be this, or this person will always be that. There is no room to really just grow, or to even like maybe not choose this person because we've branded them as such. Let's take the labels out of everything. Let's take the need to label every single person in our life with a particular name or a label. And let's just basically let go of it all and just go on our merry way. Okay? You probably had fun at some point when you involved yourself with being a fool. Okay? That's the thing about the Fool, and that's what the book is really about. It's really exploring all of the different characteristics of each of the cards and what you're experiencing with each thing. The Fool, unless you take risks in life, you're never going to live. So sometimes you got to take a risk. You got to put yourself out there. Maybe some of us are going to have some fun. Maybe some of us are going to fall on our faces. But you know what? We're optimistic. The Fool is optimistic that maybe this time will be different. And maybe you did have some fun and experience some happiness. And maybe some of us, it didn't turn out to be that way. That's okay. Trial and error. Okay. But the thing is, you guys, we don't have to enter into this energy where we're sharing ourselves physically with people. We can get to know people and just, in a social atmosphere. It doesn't have to turn into this. I feel like there might be some feminines out there that do suffer from feeling like they need to share themselves in that way. There could be low self-worth, low self-esteem issues that some of us divine feminines have. This was me in most of my 20s and 30s, okay? I would say half of my 30s, okay? So really, when I got together with Mr. Moon, that's really when this lifestyle of mine fell away. But let me tell you something. All of the damage that was done is something that I experienced because I was branded, and also I branded myself with a lot of these belief systems that I was no good, that I was horrible, that I was this, I was dirty, I was that, just the whole 9 yards. And let me tell you, it definitely created some issues for Mr. Moon and I. Mr. Moon and I have a really good marriage, okay? But it has taken frickin' work, and we have gone through a lot of shit, okay? But the thing is, that's what marriage is, at least for me. It takes work. You work at it. It's not something where you wake up every day and it's just hunky frickin' dory. But the thing is, that was definitely something where that type of behavior for me, it stemmed from somewhere. I'm not going to bore you guys with too many details, but it stemmed from somewhere. And I had to do a lot of healing through therapy and just different experiences that I had before I could finally get to a point where I'm no longer branding myself or worried about what other people might think about me. Because that actually kept a wound of mine alive for quite some time, because I was branded a certain way. And it was so traumatic for me that I just could not let it go. So I feel like, especially when we're younger, or we don't have the tools or the self-esteem, we're going to make certain mistakes. We're going to act in certain ways that maybe we're not proud of, or that other people judge us for. But we also, it works both ways. We judge other people for the way that they're acting, for what they're doing or not doing. So at the end of the day, we're all humans that are judging each other. And it's just crazy when you really look at it and you think to yourself, holy crap, I've done the same freaking thing. You know what I mean? So it's just about awareness. We're all fools just trying to figure it out. But it's about, are you letting these foolish experiences, when maybe you didn't know better, ruin your life, rule your mind, rule your head? Are you so busy in judgment against someone else that you're literally just in this bitter energy now? You're not cutting somebody else a break. And maybe, yes, maybe there are people out there that know what they're doing is wrong and they still keep doing it. So fuck them. But the thing is, move on, let go of them. Stop creating this like chaos in your mind where you constantly are, focused on it and obsessed on it, because that is going to take away from your optimism for the outside world and experiencing happiness in other situations. So that is interesting. Let's take a look at what some of the consequences were, where I feel like that actually really came up already, but let's take it into another direction. What were the consequences of this choice to basically take a risk and to just do something without either thinking or just being careless or whatever we did? Let's see. We're going to go into the Dark Night of the Soul Tarot that I created. And we're going to go into this deck here. I'm just kind of feeling this. Heart Songs by Celestial Forecast by Carrie. Let's just see kind of like maybe what the song was playing in our heart at the time that we were kind of going into this experience. What was going on? I have died every day waiting for you, darling. Don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. So 1,000 years by Christina Perry. So what I'm getting here, you guys, is you may have felt that whoever you were connecting with or whatever you felt very passionate, that you have been waiting for this person your entire life. So when they showed up, you were just willing to do anything for them. And if that's not your story, this is not your reading. Ooh, Four of Cups, sorrow, jaded. So Four of Cups is a decline, meaning, no, I don't want this. So some of our energy could have just been so like over the top. We felt so much for this individual or so much for this person that we were willing to do anything for them. And I'm getting here that this person that we were dealing with at the time was somebody who is either just too jaded with their own experiences to be able to partake in that kind of, excitement and love and just be open to it. Or it could even just be that it was a turnoff for them. So it might have been that they let you in for a moment, but it didn't last. Okay. It didn't last. It's almost like there was too much, just like, I'm willing to lose myself in you. And of course that's not ever healthy. But that's the energy here. Ooh, see, the devil playing with fire. This is toxic. This was this fire, like, I want this. I mean, what is the concept of a devil? Devil is some kind of energy that tricks you. You're tricked. You think you want it. You think it's going to be good. It's everything that you want, but then it's like hell to pay, selling your soul to the devil. It's that kind of energy here where we play with fire. And eventually it's going to burn you. And that's what happened here. This kind of, I want to die for you. I've waited for you for 1,000 years. I'll always love you. That kind of crazy, lose yourself in someone, desperate energy. And I'm not trying to say that that can't be a good thing for some people. I'm not taking anything away for people that are experiencing this in a beautiful, divine way. Let me make it clear. But this is a toxic energy and cycle that some of you guys might have been stuck in. I will die for you kind of energy. It's a desperate, just codependent, toxic, no good sort of situation. So it didn't work because it was dysfunctional. It didn't work because love is not about losing yourself. Love is not about dying for someone else, I mean, that's a different story. Obviously, you'd step in front of a car for your child or a loved one. That's not what I'm talking about. But you're going to deplete your own needs and you're going to do everything that you can to please this person because you're so desperately connected because you don't want to lose them. That's what we're talking about here. So that's the reason why. What were the consequences? You lost yourself. What were the consequences? Rejection. What were the consequences? Maybe now you're jaded because now you'll never be able to trust another person because this person screwed you over so much. Maybe you feel like, you've gotten burned so many times by this person. Now you just don't even know what to think. And maybe some of you still feel like you love this person, even though they've screwed you over time and time again. At what point are you finally going to see this rejection or this behavior as something that you probably need to step away from? So I feel like this is probably for the divine feminine that has risen from these ashes, because we can see this fire because of whatever she experienced, right? But whatever we've branded as the person or the one for us, especially if you've experienced a lot of this horrible energy, let's stop assigning this label to this person. Let's stop, okay? Let's stop saying, this is my divine masculine, this is my twin flame. Let's just be divine feminines. And let's just open ourselves up to new experiences, which is why we are talking about the Fool, because that's what the Fool is. So the consequence of staying hopelessly devoted, oh my God, from Olivia Newton-John, hopelessly devoted to this person, even though they've treated you like trash, your consequences are horrible. Your consequences are just continuing to be in a state of hell. It's not good. It's definitely not good. Yep, barren wasteland. This is the divine feminine empress in a barren wasteland. What does that mean? She's in a crop that's dead. She's in a crop that won't grow. So the consequences of staying hopelessly devoted to this person that you've perhaps branded as the one. And remember, this is only for people that have experienced horrible, toxic energies and experiences. Someone's lied to you, cheated on you repeatedly, abandoned you, ghosted you, blocked you, all of the above. I'm talking about a lot of toxic energy here. Those are the people that I'm talking to, and I'm probably going to have to make that clear in the title. Continuing to stay hopelessly devoted to this person because your pride and ego refuse to let go of this label. This right here is going to continue. This is the consequence. You will continue to be in a barren wasteland. It will never grow. You will eventually wither away and maybe even become a person that's like an old maid. And it's not about not having a partner. That's not what I'm talking about. But dying alone, living a life where you're never able to open yourself up to anything new because you're hopelessly devoted that this person is the one. This could be hurting a lot of people. And this is one of the reasons that I've made some shifts on my channel when it comes to the twin flame concept. Again, not saying that twin flames aren't real, and I'm not saying that people cannot experience divine love through the twin flame concept. But there are a huge amount of people in this collective that are probably not experiencing that. They're probably experiencing more of toxic people that they are having a hard time detaching from. Okay? And if you're not resonating with that, and if this is something that's just kind of like, you're not digging this, again, feel free to remove yourself from my readings and channel. It's not a big deal. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see, what does being a fool and taking a risk, like that same risk that we're willing to put our lives on the line for someone else, what would our lives look like if we did that for ourselves? What if we showed up for ourselves in the same exact way that we were willing to kind of die for another person? What would that look like? So we're going to go into this is the Messages of Love Oracle cards by All Things Intuitive. What if we were to invest in ourselves? I love this. Oh my gosh. If we were to invest in ourselves and realize that our true love is actually us. I love that this card came up. If we are to invest in ourselves and say, you know what? When I love myself, I attract that same love in other people. But when I don't love myself, do you want to know what I attract into my life? I attract this. Okay? So it's very important that we take the time to treat ourselves the way that we want to be treated. We got to learn to love ourselves and show up for ourselves and fill that damn cup of ours. This right here is called The Advice from the Divine on How to Remove Our Masks. This is from Angelic Revelation 144. Oh, I love this. Honesty, speak truth, not lies. This is about your truth, you guys. When you're really honest with yourself and you're willing to remove the mask that this person has to be the one because I've been told, or because this is how I originally saw this person. Be willing to just look at the facts. If something just feels awful and you feel abused and toxic, like you're dying being connected to this person, don't let any person out there tell you that this is a divine connection and that you need to stick it out because you can change this person. You can't change anyone except yourself. So this is about you stepping into situations and really honestly looking at them. If what you're seeing is not lining up with your truth and what feels right for you and what feels healthy to you, then it's time for us to drop some of these lies that we might be telling ourselves. We might be afraid to admit the truth to ourselves that maybe this just is a toxic person that we have mistaken for something else. What's wrong with that? Why can't we do that? I'll tell you why we're not able to do that. Because there's some people out there that are so frickin' just stuck in their pride. This is my truth and I'm sticking to it. This person's my twin flame, no matter all the crap that they've done to me, and no matter how much crap they still continue to do to me, they're my twin flame, and that's it. If that works for you and you're happy, which I guarantee you're probably not, but if you happen to be happy in that particular belief system, more power to you. But I know a lot of people that are suffering in that narrative. So it's about us dropping the mask and no longer being attracted like a moth to the flame and wanting to participate in the madness and the fire, and resurrecting into some kind of a new experience. So what is it that when we love ourselves, what does our energy look like? We're being honest. We're no longer hiding behind lies that we're telling ourselves. We're no longer going without so that way, we're not depriving ourselves of love. We're treating ourselves with love, and so we demand that type of treatment and respect from other people. That's what we're doing. So what does being a fool and taking a risk on loving yourself look like? You're no longer lying to yourself. You're in your truth. You're living in the present moment. You're not worried about the past. You're not stuck in the past, and you're not worried about what the future looks like, because in the here and now, you are just being in that state of true love with yourself, realizing that what you have going on right now is enough. And you refuse to dance in the fire any longer because that fire burns, it hurts, it sucks. So this is called the Self-Care Cards by Cheryl Richardson. Pleasure. Hey, that sounds good to me. So when we take a risk, we experience happiness, we experience true love, we experience pleasure. Look at that lady, she's got those cats. See, that's heaven to me. Do something just for fun. Love this. Pleasure is one of life's essential nutrients. So when we just do things just for fun, just because, it doesn't have to be for a reason. A lot of people that have a lot of, issues and just, a lot of hangups don't know how to do things for themselves. I'm a person that's that way. I think I talked about this a few readings ago. I don't know how to just get in shape for myself. I've always done it to look a certain way for a certain person in my life. Okay. So it's like learning how to just do things for ourselves can sometimes be difficult for people because they're so used or they're programmed to be a people pleaser, to do things for a particular result or a particular payoff. And that's definitely ego driven right there. That's it, coming from an unhealthy viewpoint. Why can't we do it for ourselves? So learn to be your own true love partner. Okay. And when we do this, we experience more happiness because we're in this vibration of just pure true love and pleasure and happiness for ourselves. And when we're in this frequency, we're more than likely going to attract this in other experiences and with other people. So this is exactly what taking a risk on loving ourselves more and just having fun and being present and experience more pleasure and being truthful with ourselves and speaking our truth. That's what this looks like. So let's get a couple of cards, a couple of tarot cards here. This is called the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot. Knight of Earth, love this. Knight of Pentacles. This is someone who is supportive. They're supporting themselves. This could also be when we take the time to go and connect with other people that might be experiencing the same things as us. We feel the support. Organizations, we're taking responsibility for our healing. We're not blaming other people. Can other people trigger us? Absolutely. But are they really to blame for what we're still suffering from? In a way, they've caused some sort of wound, but we do have to take responsibility as to why we were originally attracted to that in the first place. So to me, this tells me here that moving forward, this is an energy where we feel supportive. We feel supported, we feel safe, we feel like we're maybe perhaps in an organization or amongst like-minded people to where we can really do this healing that's required. Okay, so we're loving ourselves, we're supporting ourselves, and it's a process. Knight of Earth, Knight of Pentacles, it's not a super fast thing. It takes time, it takes dedication, it takes perhaps even work in a program for some of you. Nothing wrong with that. Now we have the Nine of Earth. I love this. Oh my God. The Nine of Earth is that person that is sitting in their garden. They're comfortable. They're on their own. They feel good. They don't need anyone else. They're no longer in that needy energy. They don't need another person to be able to identify. They can just do their own thing. They don't need another person to feel happy. They're just happy on their own. Everything that they're experiencing is because they just feel comfortable in their life. There's a woman, she is there. She's sitting there with her cup of tea or coffee, and she's looking at her garden, and she's feeling really good about herself. That is pleasure. That is being your own true love. So when you take a risk on loving yourself and giving yourself the same dedication that you've always given to other people, this is what the outcome is. Doesn't that look amazing? Looks pretty good to me. So now we're going to go ahead and end this reading just with closing messages from Spirit. So whatever Spirit wants to bring through is what we will take, okay? What does Spirit want us to know and understand? So we're going to go into my Twin Flame Oracle, Twin Flame Tarot, and my Earth and Sky Oracle. I can't get my decks right here. And from Fire Witch Tarot, the Self-Love Spiritual Reminders. Okay, so what does this look like? What does Spirit want to close this reading with? What closing messages or even arguments are coming through from Spirit? Okay, so we have the fifth dimension, which is an energy of ascension. Okay, so ascension is taking place. That's what I'm getting here. This is something where we are elevating our minds. We are looking at the bigger picture. We're looking at things from a higher perspective. And when we do this, things actually don't feel so horrible. Interesting. So the devil comes up 2 times. There's a reason. So remember, guys, the devil is being obsessed with other people, being toxically connected to them, attached, where we just feel like we have to be with this person or we're going to die. We need to ascend to the next level. That is 3D, lower vibrational feeling and thinking. That's why I feel like a lot of people maybe feel very passionate and they feel very strong towards this person, but it's for all the wrong reasons. And so sometimes we have, through this twin flame journey, we discover our own wounds. We discover our attachments. And so it doesn't mean that the twin flame journey is now junk. It just means that what we originally thought and how we came onto this journey through a particular person, there's something more than this person. Maybe we were meant to purge this experience or, just heal some aspect of ourselves through that person. But now that that is a situation that doesn't serve us any longer, let's keep on rising. Let's keep on ascending to the next level. There's more to this journey than just this person. Okay? Love that. We have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is about being very much in our analytical mind. This is someone who is, rather than wearing their heart on their sleeve, they're really able to look at things very clearly. This is someone who is speaking their truth. This is someone who is willing to look at other people and judge by what people are saying or doing. Is it matching up? So we've changed, okay? We have an opportunity to ascend and change on this journey. If this was maybe like a King of Cups, sometimes that King of Cups can be someone who feels things and goes with the feeling of things, and sometimes going with our feelings can get us in trouble, because especially if they're wounded things, hang-ups from the past, our feelings can be misleading. Well, I really feel this powerful connection. Maybe you just feel it because it actually is a dysfunctional love that you experienced as a child, so it's the only thing that you know to be love. Do you see what I'm saying? So this King of Swords is cutting out some of that stuff. He's cutting out some of that feeling of connecting himself or herself to his emotions, to let his emotions be the dictator to him. No, the King of Swords is saying, I'm going to trust what my intellect is saying. If something doesn't make sense, I love this. This is from Judge Judy. I freaking love her. If something doesn't make sense, it's because it's not true. Bam. That's it. Okay? That's it. We're no longer making excuses for people, because when you have to make excuses for someone, or you have to rationalize their behavior, man, what a waste in the end. You end up feeling like a fool. I mean, we're talking about the fool. We end up feeling foolish because we didn't listen to what we knew was true. We let our emotions take over and do all the talking. We didn't listen to that rational explanation, maybe even from a family member or a friend that said, oh, this guy's married? Yeah, he's probably not going to be the best partner choice for you. I mean, that's just a rational thing to think. Someone's married, someone's cheating on their spouse with you. There's probably something about the situation that's not the healthiest. That's a rational thought. Okay. And I'm not judging any of you that are in that situation or that have gone down that rabbit hole, but it's just a fact. When someone's freaking married and their wife doesn't know that they're screwing around with you, that's probably not the best way to start off a healthy relationship. All right, so let's see what else we need to know. We have the horse. The horse is active, energetic, clever and witty, agile and quick, vain and extravagant. So to me, the horse is about power, it's about stamina, and it's also about moving forward like the horse, okay? So to me, this is just telling us keep moving forward, keep powerhousing through all of your experiences, everything that you're supposed to be focused on. Let's focus on a very empowered approach. Let's not focus on things that make us feel like junk. And if we need to, let's seek support from either groups or individuals that can help us through those traumas. But most of us have been sitting in this ship for so long that we're ready to break free. And the horse, it's a wild horse. That's a wild horse, baby. It doesn't have anything on it. Wild horse. So that's coming through. It's a song from the Sundays, but it was originally from the Rolling Stone, Wild Horses. But see, that particular song, it's talking about wild horses couldn't keep me away. That's an undying devotion again. To me, this is a new energy. Let's put our devotion on ourselves. So this is about being a little bit different. Moving forward, putting our energy and our focus more on ourselves rather than the dedication, that undying devotion, dedication to another person, because that is not healthy love. That's obsessive, that's codependent, and that's not healthy love or relationship. Don't stress over the things you can't control, and that's the thing. You know, we can't control another person. And I think that there's a lot of misconceptions in some of the twin flame teachings that if you just send someone enough love and light, or you actually feel that you have the power to go in and into their energy field and work on their energy to heal them with Reiki without their permission, those types of things can be very just confusing for, I think, the individual that's actually participating in that. You can't control someone's healing. You can't control what someone's going to do, what they're thinking. I mean, we might think we can. There's all kinds of spellcasters out there that claim that, you know, you can control someone's mind. I'm not saying you can or you can't, but at the end of the day, when you're trying to bend the free will of another person, it always bites you in the ass. So you need to be careful. So it's about pulling away from the need to control. When we need to control another person, that is predatory. That's why that card came up from the very beginning. A freaking predator. If you're in that predator energy, trying to bend the will of someone else, actually thinking that you can do it, you're dead wrong, baby. You gotta really look at your intentions. Why would you want someone that doesn't want you? Why would you want to make someone think about you and contact you if they're not just doing it on their own? Why would you make someone want to miss you? Or why would you even reach out to someone just to remind them that you're still there? If they're not doing it on their own, then it's simply, from the King of Swords perspective, logical, rational explanation is because they don't want to. People do things that they want to do. Somebody might have a thought of you, like, you know, they're thinking about you, but hey, you know what? They're too busy. People do ultimately what they want to do. Everything else is just excuses. So it says, sing at the top of your lungs. Some of us are being called to either sing or, again, to speak our truth. And our truth is we're no longer willing to play it small to be loved or accepted. If people cannot love us and accept us in our current energy, then you know what? Maybe they're just not the ones for us. And that is okay. Last one. Cry until you're annoyed with crying. Then you won't want to cry anymore. Yeah. So I did say that earlier. Some of us are just like, yes, let's move forward. Let's work and focus more on being empowered. But some of us still need to process some of that grief and some of those tears. So that's one of the reasons why it's important to connect with the support system. I will put some information down below for anybody out there suffering. But this reading was really not to rake ourselves over the coals, not to blame ourselves or even other people. It's just about realizing that we're all human and that we're all on this journey, which right now we're tapping into the fool's energy. Sometimes we make fools of ourselves. Sometimes other people are foolish, but at the end of the day, that's life, and that's how we live and learn. In order to live and learn, you've got to be a fool sometimes. You got to put yourself out there. You got to put yourself out there if you want to experience things. So it's up to us what we want to do. Do we want to stay hung up on crap, or do we want to just break through that crap and have new experiences? And maybe those new experiences, there could be a bump in the road with those new experiences. But the thing is, over time, we're going to get stronger and stronger with the tools that we are obtaining along the way, to where we're not going to suffer as long. We're not going to cry, or try to control a situation that just isn't flowing. When we hit a brick wall or the doors close, we're not going to bang on it anymore. We're going to say, you know what? I did this last time and it didn't work out, so I'm not going to do this again. Yeah. I'm not going to sell my soul or sell myself short so this person will love me, because you know what? That didn't work out then, and it's not going to work out now. So you see how we're learning by trial and error? So there's no reason to hate yourself. There's no reason to even hate this person. This person is who they are, and you can't change it. So just accept it and move on. If it's not working out, it's not working out for a reason. That doesn't mean it can never work out in the future, but the form that it's working in right now doesn't feel good. So it's better to just disconnect and just love yourself a little bit more today. All right, you guys, I hope that was enjoyable for some of you guys. Don't forget about the book. I'll put it down below. It's an incredible book if you guys want to use that as like a step-by-step to just kind of go through your own learning of the tarot. So that could be used for that, or just your own therapeutic uses. All right. So thanks again, you guys, for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.